Numi is a calculator. Simple. It lets you calculate a natural language. And unlike a regular calculator, this is pretty convenient because you can write out what you need to calculate rather than pushing buttons. And this is useful for things like conversions and calculating percentages. It gives you time conversion, gives you currency conversion. You can even perform multi-line calculations and store variables for reuse later, which is pretty dope. But there was one limitation I found during my use of Numi, but before I get into that, let's talk about some of its strengths. You can convert specific time or dates from one time zone to another, or even calculate difference between time in different time zones. It works well as a scientific calculator. So this means you can format your results in scientific notation, and it even recognizes constants like pi and Euler's constant. It works well for currency calculation. It updates currency rates several times a day, and even some cryptocurrencies, especially the popular ones. It's also good for functions, so like square root, log, cosine, arc, factorials, all of that fun stuff. It does it just like a calculator should. But one thing I wish could be improved is consistency with abbreviation and pluralization. So weeks and week work the same way, but minute and minutes does not. Hours is not recognized, but days is recognized. And after a while, I've learned not to pluralize anything when using Numi, but that's something to watch out for. So let's go to interface. I like the concept of having just a blank slate to start with, so no numpad or operations, just a simple slate that looks almost like a notepad. It's clean, no distractions, no distracting icon or symbols, and settings for the app is very minimal, which is a really good thing. I mean, it's a calculator, so you shouldn't have too many settings, and it lives in the menu bar, which is always handy, so you can get it anytime you want. Now let's talk about price. It does have a free version, which is pretty good. It's not limited, and the only difference between the free version and the paid version is iCloud sync and having multiple notes, which I don't think a lot of people will need. The free version is very capable. But if you do decide to buy the full version, it's $30, a one-time fee for 2 devices. Thank God it's not a subscription. So I'm gonna give it a +1 for that. So let's talk about stickiness. How often have I used it? Well, since I've had it, I haven't used the actual calculator. So I would say it's very sticky. I don't see myself going back to using the regular calculator because Numi does everything the regular calculator does, but in a more convenient way. So very sticky. Now, overall, well, the app claims to do one thing and it does it fairly well. Actually, it does it really well. There's room for improvement, like I said, consistency with abbreviations and pluralization. But that's not a big deal. It's just a bug that could be fixed. And it feels fast. It behaves like a native app. There's no lag, especially for the week and a half that I've been testing it. So overall, I think it's a 4.5 out of 5. So that's my review of Numi. Thank you for watching. If you have any app recommendations for me, put it in the comments and I'll most likely get to it. So if you don't know, now you know. First thing I usually do before I download an app is to check out the reviews of the app. But it's getting harder these days to actually find objective reviews that just simply show you how the app does what it claims to do. And getting those reviews in under 10 minutes. So sometimes if you want something done, you have to do it yourself. So that's why I'm making 100 app reviews in 100 days. And these are going to be apps that I've used in the past, apps that I'm currently using, and apps that I want to use in the future. So if you guys have any recommendations, please put them in the comments and I will probably review them as well.